What's going down, family? It's your boy Mikey, and this is episode 2 for Wordplay Wednesday Talks. And this is going to be the breakdown of the song Smoke Weed, Fuck Lean. And I know that's kind of a crazy title, but I just felt like where the direction of this song, at least the last half, mostly the last half, is kind of going in the direction of, I feel like, like this narcotic, this drug that's being exposed to a very young crowd of people. And I don't know. I just don't think that's cool. Like when I was younger, I guess, when I was like 14, 15 and like I was listening to rap music, it's like, it was obviously it was a different time, but it's like weed was, the thing that people did, and I guess that was like the more underground thing, like these pharmaceutical, drugs weren't necessarily out there. So like, that wasn't a thing, and I actually just heard that like one of the number one, I think, overdoses are leading even car accidents right now in the United States. And that's kind of crazy. I guess I don't want to blast any, any rappers individually, but I had Bree's little brother was over here and he was showing me just some like new rappers, new kids that are like, super killing it in the YouTube game, I guess, because I wouldn't say they're killing it in the rap game. They just got hella views on YouTube. But they're definitely killing it in the YouTube game, and they're probably making fucking shit tons of money off of that shit. But it's just all about the lean, it's like all about fucking sipping lean and they're just so young, and like, I just think that when I was that young, maybe I might have fantasized and glamorized weed a lot, and that was maybe not the best for me, but I just think that, it's just a very, it's some thin ice that these kids are fucking skating on, with like sipping that shit, and just constantly, that's just like, it's like weed, like these kids are fucking sipping that shit like it's weed. They're going to fucking do that shit at parties. I mean, if that's what they're doing in their music videos, motherfucking, that's what they're probably doing, like just partying, hanging out with their homies. It's like, hey bro, you got some lean? Like, it's like, it was, when we were younger, it was like, you got some bud. So now it's like, hey dog, you got some lean? And that shit to me is just, it's kind of crazy, especially at that young age. But, maybe it isn't that crazy because, like again, like maybe that's just a new thing, but there wasn't massive amounts of deaths from weed fucking, when I was 15, shit, even when I was 18, even when I was old enough to drink alcohol and stuff, or, not old enough to drink alcohol, but like old enough to buy cigarettes or whatever. Shit, even when I was 21, even when I was old enough to buy alcohol, fucking, it's like, it's just been an epidemic, it's kind of crazy right now with kids, and this stuff. So that was where the direction of this song was coming. Originally this song, I labeled it Weed Track. I don't know if I said that already in this one. I took a couple takes on this, sorry guys. But originally titled it Weed Track just because the vibe of the song was like, I don't know, you hear like that, and like, it just sounds like maybe like a weed vibe, But I decided to, I kind of went both ways, because I'm saying like, close my eyes to find the deep inside me lies a source of strength, the conscious state that really isn't hard to find, note to time. Going side to side ain't nothing worse than trying, but I meditate and formulate the words that help me redefine, but I'm feeling fine though. This chronic got me bouncing, must be hydro. Just trying to do a little bit of wordplay. Again, I'm trying to, switch up my style this year, just really trying to make it feel good and different. But so again, with the weed reference right there, must be hydro. We might go the longest way around to know the high road, because it's like, that's, I don't know, like I guess my reference there too was just, these kids are super young, and I feel like they're being exposed in a way because maybe they're young and super influenced, either influenceable, or if that's a word, influenceable, but they're super impactable. And like, I'm saying right there, I'd rather take the long way around, you know what I mean, than have been like, maybe 14 or whatever, 15, 16 years old and, like be promoting this thing that, it's like, do they even know what they're doing really? You know what I mean? I guess it makes them feel good so they do know what they're doing. But again, like, you know, I just think like 10, 15 years down the line, either they got a healthy fucking addiction or their liver's shot or fucking, you know, there's just no really set up there. So that's what I was saying. I take the long way around to get to the motherfucking high road because, you know, I'm not trying to take no shortcuts, bitch. And I say like no sideshow freak the beat because this song gonna be an example. That's what I'm saying. Is this song about to be an example? We handles. You best believe that we ain't gonna stop, and that's where I'm doing like, boom, no stop. And then I said we trample these vandals, stampede on the motherfucking leanin though, because you know all these kids sipping lean, because the weeds all the motherfucker needs to know. That's what I'm saying right there. 14 sipping tea, and I say 14 sipping teas. What they needs to promote. That's why I say 14 sipping teas, what they need to promote. And what I'm saying there is like 14 years of age sipping tea, because they call lean also Texas tea. And they need to, that's what they call it down south. But they need to, you know, like they're just, I don't know, they're preying on these fucking kids that are young as fuck and, you know, sipping lean. That's what I'm talking about, man. And then I say young teen 14, but they're eating it up. Is it a scene that, so is that scene just a thing that they're giving to us? Like, is it just something like that they're giving to us and we're just taking it, right? We're just fucking taking it in. Can you believe that your teen might be listening? Then I say, can you believe that your teen might be listening it up? Because that's the thing, right? That's where it fucking starts. And then it's like they just are, fantasizing, glamorizing all this shit. But can you believe that your team might be listening it up because he or she is streaming the people they love. They're streaming the music. You know what I mean? And and then I said, is it worth it to the innocent that they breed and deliver such a young mold? Because it's not really worth it to all the innocent kids out there who maybe or get impacted by, you know, this thing that, you know, that I think is just, you know, a fucking marketing tool, man. It's just a way for these people to make a little bit of money. And, you know, it's sad. It really is sad because fucking, you know, these kids don't know what the fuck. And maybe, you know, I mean, I smoke weed still to this day, you know, so maybe it did. Maybe it impacted me fucking super crazy. But I don't know. My dad smokes a lot of weed, though, too. So maybe that's not necessarily the truth either. But anyway, just saying, you know, that, you know, I don't know. Again, like I'm not trying to compare the two, but it's like, fuck, man, weed definitely didn't kill. Weed has never taken over the, you know, automobile death rate in a year or however fucking ever, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I just, you know, if overdoses from it's an opioid epidemic that's popping off right now. So, you know, we can't be promoting that young. You know, if you fucking are old and you got some back fucking problems and your shit's been hurting for years, I mean, I don't really condone that either. But, you know, if you create some healthy addiction that way, then whatever, man. Fucking that's your own life. You've already lived your shit and probably fucked your shit up doing, you know, something that you probably shouldn't be doing. Or maybe you did it working your ass off, you know. But again, there's other ways to rehabilitate yourself from that. But again, you also are an adult. Do what you do in your life. Handles, boo-boo. But come on, man. These kids just sipping this stuff. It's just got to stop. That's what I think. I don't know if you guys have noticed. Bree's not here. She had a work meeting, and that's why I'm kind of just ranting probably also. But this is the second episode. This is the second episode, and I'm just vibing out. So, where were we at? So the words to the innocent, because it's not worth it to the innocent because they breed and deliver such a young mold. What they see in is ignorance because they all know they want to go viral, and that's just the thing, right? These kids are just like, right? If you were 14 years old and somebody said like, hey man, like you got a cool style, you can hit your cadences and you know you can hold a beat, that's tight, that's what's up. You know, and like you're super young, it's like you want to fucking make millions, right? And hit millions of views. Of course you would. Of fucking course you would. I mean, shit, I probably would. And that's why I'm glad I'm not growing up now because I probably do the same thing too, man. I'd be like, hell yeah. No, I wouldn't. I have a heart. I'm just kidding. But again, right? It's tempting. You'd fucking think about it. You'd be like, well, maybe, right? You'd start tossing it up. And that's why these kids are in these fucking positions. That's why they've been promoting this shit. So, can we lean on deliverance? Can we lean on equivalence? Can we lean towards a thing that influence the youth, that influence the things that they do? You know, it's like, can we lean on a truth? Can we come out of this space and lean on a, you know, on a higher elevated frequency for our youth instead of allowing it, you know, because that's just ultimately what it is. We're just fucking allowing it and like maybe think it's cute. And I don't know, you know, maybe it's just like, it's like, let them do it, you know, or like freedom of speech or whatever. Like, I don't know. They're too young. I just think that should not be a right maybe for somebody that age. But anyway, maybe I'm just tripping on this whole fucking thing, right? And then I say, are you not acknowledging all the abuse, right? Because, I mean, again, you know, kid's going to end up with a fucking healthy addiction. You're not acknowledging all the abuse when all of these kids are addicted to sipping or giving a fuck about all your children should be at the top of your list, no excuse, right? Because it's like, then overall this shit, right? Like, it's like these kids are super young, but then it's like, where are the parents, man? Like, it's like, you know, it's like, that should be at the top of the list. Like, okay, cool. Like, unless I'm just tripping, unless I'm totally tripping, and like it's just a thing that they're doing, right? And these kids that actually are promoting this shit like aren't getting fucked up, and like you talk to the parents like, oh, they don't do that or whatever. It's just for a fucking show or whatever, you know. Then whatever. But again, what is it? What impact is it doing for all the other kids? You know, if it's fucking this mom, you know. I don't know. It's just it's bad all the way around. It's bad all the way around. So again, man, that should be at the top of the list. No excuse. Then I just say, you know, I take a look straight at the future, and they're looking at me like I'm tripping because, you know, these motherfuckers don't want to hear some 32-year-old dude spitting hip hop. You know what I mean? Shit like this. It's like this shit ain't gonna get views. You know what I'm saying? That's probably what they're mostly thinking. Like, come on, oldie. Get out of here, oldie. That's what I'm saying, that shit, you know, because it's like I find myself much older than the rest of them, you know. And it's like I take a look straight at the future, and they look at me as if I kicked the can already, you know, because I'm in this fucking rap industry. I'm already dead in this shit, you know. But there's some beasts actually making their way around, man, right now. I've been seeing on Instagram just a lot of fucking super dope ass MCs that are coming through. So you never know, you know. Nah, we know that shit, homie. We know that it's gonna come back around. But then I say, I take a look straight at the future, and they want a life that has no sustenance because there ain't no nutrients in the shit that they be spitting. You know what I mean? There's nothing there. There's nothing to gain from it. And I say it right there. You know, shit isn't me, or have these kids just become addicted to opiates, because that's, I think, what is happening. I take a look straight at the future, and it's kind of tricky when it comes to kids, right? Because it's really tricky when it comes to kids. They're so, you could, you know, like I said, you know, their brains are like sponges, and so like, you know, whatever's happening with them, you know, I mean, it's crazy, right? Like think of like even Justin Bieber or some shit, you know, like Justin Bieber fucking wasn't able to handle. I mean, he was, but it's just like, you know, like maybe he wasn't though. Maybe he wasn't ready for that shit, you know, like. It's not like he's crushing the music game now, but he learned a lot of shit, and he's definitely crushing the fucking, you know, the money game. But I mean, it's just, you know, like there's just a lot that comes with being, a lot of pressure that comes with you know, this industry, I guess, or the music industry, and you know, being really really young, you know, it'd be hard to adapt. So you know, and then it doesn't help being high. You know what I'm saying? It's like that should be the fucking main thing. It should be like, dude, like. Let's promote like not sobriety, but just like, I mean, again, like whatever, I smoke weed, but like, you know, just like a clarity. That's what we should promote. Promote clarity. Promote like a space of clarity. You know, it's like we can't be fucking just, you know, promoting that shit. But then that's why, and then I sum it up at the end. I just say, I know it sounds like I'm tripping, but all these kids that be sipping are setting examples for the children. And now I feel like the kids are lost. You know, I just feel like this new generation that's coming in, maybe of like, you know, of hip hop, or this new wave of music is just kind of it's kind of lost. So, and I say if all the shits that we're given, it's just the way to, and if it's just a way to do business, it's at the cost of a generation without a thought. You know what I'm saying? They're doing it without even fucking thinking. They're just like, fuck it, you know, because it's interesting. It's gonna be interesting in fucking 10 years to see what happens, you know, and hopefully there just be like crazy interventions, and they're just like, we can't do this anymore. We gotta straighten our shit up, and it just, you know, maybe Kanye will get on meds, and it'll just be all good after that. You know what I'm saying? Everyone will just be like, we all gotta get on, you know, what meds that work, not fucking ones that are fucking us up. And so, and then I say, I'll close my eyes. And then I say, I close my eyes and give kindness, say a prayer for the blindness. They seem to want us divided when there's a lot of us. Because, again, it's like they're using these little kids to get to the masses, and it keeps them numb. And so it's like, if we were stronger together, then, maybe these things wouldn't be happening. So it keeps us divided. It puts a wedge in between, reality and this numb state. So it's like, maybe don't, that's what I'm saying. It's like, we condone it. And that's what's fucking crazy. Yeah. And then I say, take your time as a youngin'. You ain't no need to rush into something. You got a lot of time to figure out the things to come, because they do, man. They're fucking 14 years old. This isn't a song, I guess, about shit to the mumble rappers or anything like that. This is a song straight to these fucking kids that are young. And maybe it's just the one rapper. Maybe I just saw this one rapper who fucking doesn't even have a mustache and is sipping lean. And I'm just like, and you know what? How old do you have to even be fucking to be prescribed that shit? I guess it's fucking for fucking sore throats, right? So I guess you don't even necessarily need to be a fucking certain age. So, sorry if the fucking camera was shaking a whole bunch. And I'm also sorry for cursing so much. But I feel strong about this, people. But yeah, so they got a lot of time. And, that group of people that kind of music is influencing, I hope that, that they, maybe would hear this song and be like, shit, like maybe it's the truth, or maybe fucking none of them would hear it and be like, fuck off, dude, or whatever, because again, it's just this new wave that's kind of happening. But this is just kind of how I'm feeling. I was really feeling, I don't know. I just was really feeling like writing a song about that epidemic, because I mean, it's either going to get really, really bad and get way, way worse, or they're going to start wising up, as far as this music goes, because like I said, there's some heavy, hard hitters that are coming out, and that's as real as it gets. And that's what I'm trying to promote here. It's like that's with the beat too. So I didn't really touch on the beat either. This beat I did, I used some Logic, a lot of Logic samples on this one. I used a lot of Logic samples. I used Logic bass on this. I used hi-hat, kick, and snare from the SPDSX pad. And then, I think I really did mostly use, I did some electric piano. I did electric piano, and then I did some I go into the flex, pitch correction, in Logic. And then I was adjusting different notes to swapping the two notes on the piano. That's why you hear one of them sound really similar, but then they kind of do this flip flop thing, and it even kind of breaks in the sample. But I thought it sounded hip hop as fuck, so I was just like, I'm gonna leave that like that. So, and then I also chopped up one of the harps in the just on MIDI, did some MIDI harp, and then so that synth you hear. That kind of wah, 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 wah. That's like a preset in Logic. The woo woo is called Well Sounds. That's pretty cool. And then there's some bubble sounds. See, that's why I was supposed to be a weed track. There's bubbles in there, maybe fucking ripping the bong or whatever. But it ended up sounding just really cool, super space psychedelic. Not even necessarily a bong hit, more like a bubbling brook or something, or a freaking witch's brew or something. I don't know. But and then use the Bluebird. And I didn't say that on the last video. So this year, so you guys have the second angle, and you guys kind of can see the rack or whatever. But last year I was using a lot of the outboard gear. So much love and appreciation to the brother Bernie Torelli. So much love to Veronique. Love you so much. They hooked me up. I worked for her, and they hooked me up with some outboard gear, and I've been using it. I used it all last year, and it was fucking amazing. I had a blast using some of this tubed outboard gear, and it made things sound awesome. I'm switching it up this year, though. I'm not using it. I'm just not. I really am just going straight into Focusrite. That's what I'm using. I'm using the Focusrite Claret 8 Pre. And it, I don't know, I feel like it's easier, than trying to get like all these gains and stuff. It's just like, especially with, with the drums and stuff. I haven't started tracking any drums yet this year. But as soon as I start getting into that, like, I just don't want to be dealing with gains and stuff, and like with the Focusrite, I can use the iPad and it just makes things just like 10 times easier. So I'm going to go that route. And, what else? Shoot. Other than that, I think that was pretty much it. So don't do drugs, kids. Just remember, stay in school. Don't rush. Be a kid. Dress funky. Don't be, ahead of the game. I guess mentally you can be. I'm not telling you what to fucking do. Whatever. Sorry. But do what you do, kids, but it's like, be a kid, man. It's like, that's what we're all, I guess, as adults trying to get back to, it's like, we're all trying to be kids and have that, that freedom, that space, but when you start having the responsibility, it's like, dude, imagine if fucking you had to take that shit because you actually had a fucked up throat or back or whatever, you know what I'm saying? It's like, you don't want to be old and having to do that shit. It's fun now. Trust me, that shit's going to be fun as fuck now, but not when you get older. Not when you get older. You know what I'm saying? So just don't do drugs, kids. Weed's starting to become legal. I live in California. Most y'all, my fans are all here in California. So like, fuck, man, just smoke a little bit of weed. I'm not condoning that either. I'm not condoning underage smoking. There's age limits for smoking now, so it's legal. Smoke weed when it's legal. Just, don't do the other. That fucking shit's crazy, man. You gotta stay away from that stuff. So I love y'all. Thank you so much for your support. Again, this is all brand new. This is episode 2. Sorry Brie couldn't be here. I love her so much. She had to do her thing, and hopefully this wasn't too ranty. I want feedback. I want comments. I want some questions. Again, hopefully I answered everything. Beto, I love you, brother. You commented on the last one. I'm glad that you're able to use this platform too to vibe out with me. And B, I love you, Barney. Thank you for everything. March 30th, Wordplay Wednesday album release. Make sure you catch it, and come on out and vibe with us. And I think that's gonna be it. All right, love y'all.